Hi, thanks for joining us today for Operation ReOrganization. It's a great episode, some amazing designs and incredible transformations. Enjoy the show.
I'm George Spalthoff. We're in Williamsburg, Virginia, in our new home, which we are in about 2 weeks now.
And I'm Helen Spalthoff, obviously his wife, and we are loving our new home.
We built this house. It was an idea that started in August of 2017. We broke ground in March of 18, and it was finished just a couple of weeks ago. My daughter owned the lot that this house is built upon for about 13, 14 years. And my wife and her had a conversation. My wife says, you just ought to build a house there. We had a wonderful situation that since we only lived about 600 feet away before, people laughed because I wheeled stuff down the street to get it into the garage and all that kind of stuff. But
The landscaper, I was moving gradually with boxes and bags, and he stopped me one day that he was working out front, and he says, so are you going to get a mover, or are you just going to move one bag at a time? I'm like, well, for now, it's going to be one bag at a time. But we do have a mover.
As we were getting older, we were looking for a home that would be more senior friendly. Wider doorways, wider hallways, more open space. And obviously the idea of having a brand new house was a wonderful blessing for us, because we don't expect anything to be wrong for a long time. As you come in the front door, we have a entranceway that on one side is a dining room, and then in front of you is a great room. The great room is wide open to the kitchen area. Helen is a baker, has been for about 40 years now, I would say.
Oh, at least, yeah.
And we want space for her to be able to ice cakes and make cakes and lay stuff out and all. So you'll see some of that as far as the amount of counter space and the amount of space for her mixers and all.
I have a history of making a lot of cakes, and it all started when we had 5 kids, and birthdays were coming, and at the time you couldn't afford to go to a bakery. I mean, it was like that was not in our budget. So I started doing cakes, and as I started doing cakes, friends would see them or come for the parties and like, oh, can you do a cake for me? And it just evolved like that. It just grows, it mushrooms gradually into a huge business.
We made a decision ourselves that we wanted Helen to be home until they got to be older. So this was a home-based business, if you will, that I don't think either of us ever envisioned would become as popular as it did.
There were some special features that I requested that were done A1 perfectly. One closet where it's just a can deep, or 7 to maybe 6 inches deep. So it's the entire length of the wall, and I've got a lot of food in there.
So as we sit here in a breakfast area, right, we are all wide open and connected. The left side of the house features 2 bedrooms, one of which is being used as my office and Helen's office, and the other is used as the first guest bedroom. The master suite and the laundry are on the other side of the house. The laundry room is totally changed from what the original plans were. The laundry room was originally 2 small rooms, so we just broke it and made it wide open. So the one wall has the washer and dryer and some cabinets that we had, but we wanted another cabinet that we could keep mops and brooms and cleaning supplies in and all. So we went to Closet Factory because they have the ability to custom tailor any type of and size cabinet. And with no effort on our part, they brought in cabinetry that matched and filled all the needed use that we wanted for the space that we had. all the compartments, all the ability to store all of the cleaning supplies and mops and brooms and vacuums and everything else was even accommodated to the point that they put a outlet in there so that you could have the chargers for all the rechargeable devices that everybody uses. I cannot say anything better than when the Closet Factory people came here and finally understood what we were doing. I don't mean finally, I mean there was a lot of details. Susan came down and we sat for hours going over what was possible within the spaces. And then they produced these designs and said, what do you want? We can do this, we can do that. That was wonderful, because if you go into a store, you can't find anything in the way of that kind of service. We dealt with another cabinet company and they produced basic cabinets, and that's okay, but we didn't want basic cabinets for these special rooms. I explained to Susan that the front bedroom was going to be used as our office. Helen and I both do quite a bit of volunteering for various different organizations in the Williamsburg area. And I need a desk. We need desks and we needed storage for stuff. We had this house wired for a lot of IT equipment, and everything came back to that room, and Susan came through with a cabinet that allowed me to have all of that equipment stacked up, and I didn't have to worry about where I was going to put it or anything else. It was all there right where the wires are, which is another attribute you don't often think about, but it can be really messy if you don't have the proper shelving for it. Susan arranged for what I think is probably two really wonderful guys to come. They came when they were supposed to be here, and they stayed until the job was done. They were here for more than almost 2 weeks in total. They had all the tools they needed, they had all the equipment they needed, the cabinets were brought for them. They had the layout, they had the CAD drawings that we spoke of earlier. So I didn't really have to tell them this goes here or this goes where. And something that can only be appreciated by people who have just gone through the construction problems. They were neat and they were clean. Not every contractor that works on a house is neat and clean, but these guys were. They were very polite, they were friendly, and I would recommend them to anybody.
Hi, I'm Susan Davis Bengel. I am originally from North Carolina. I now live in Baltimore, Maryland, and I have been with Closet Factory for 18 years. I married while I was in Durham, North Carolina, and moved to Baltimore when my son was 6 months old. And once he went back into kindergarten, I decided I needed to do something to kind of get myself back out with people in the workplace. At that point in time, Closet Factory had an opening, and I applied, went through the training, and became a designer. I absolutely love what I do. Ironically enough, in high school, I thought I was going to be an architect and never actually pursued that. So it's funny that now I'm kind of doing a little bit of structural design, which is where I thought I would end up all along. I grew up in a family where my mother was extremely organized, so I kind of came by organization naturally. And when I was 13, and my mother would say, clean your room, my idea of cleaning the room was opening up every drawer, repositioning everything inside of my drawers, pulling everything off of every shelf, cleaning out the entire closet. Everything needed to be in its place. It needed to have a special place for everything. And I think that has carried over into what I do now. As I got older, I took different paths and worked in county government and law firms and different things of that nature. So when I moved to Baltimore, I had recently had my son and had become a stay-home mom and was looking for something that would get me back into the workforce once he went into school. Closet Factory offered the perfect opportunity. I met Jeff and Tammy early on at different meetings and things that we would have throughout the region, and because I grew up in the northeastern part of North Carolina and did several jobs there, they were the closest franchise that would be doing the installations for me. One of the first jobs that I remember going out on, I actually thought I was being set up. I thought it was a joke. I had a lady who had a cat that was a very important part of her family. The cat's litter box she kept in her closet, which I know sounds a little bizarre, but her biggest concern was that I design an area that could isolate this cat in the litter box from the rest of her clothes in the closet, but also have a lookout point for the cat to sit up and look out the window. So I found myself measuring the height of a cat in a litter box, as well as making sure the cat had a perch to sit on to look out the window. When I got back to the office and told them, I said, I know this is a joke. This is not a real customer that you're having me do this with. But sure enough, it was a real customer. When we went to install, there was one slight issue that had not been accounted for in the field dimension, and it was a matter of a brief service that was taken care of within a couple of days, and the client couldn't have been happier. She called me back about 2 weeks later to have another project done, and that's how most of our clients work, is once they have one installed, they're calling us back for something else. I believe so strongly in what Closet Factory does. It has such versatility that if I ever stopped doing what I do now, I could never see myself working for another closet company, because I believe so strongly in what Closet Factory does and what they stand for. I believe that the customer service is some of the best in the industry.
We've got the majority of the unit put together here. This is for the Mid-Atlantic Home and Outdoor Living Show. And as you can see, we got like the doors in place, the drawers. I just have to put in a few other accessories, a roll-out table, a flip and twist ironing board, and then get the mattress in place, and then just pretty much get it all set up. There's been some hiccups, we are working through them currently, but I spoke with someone from the shop that's coming up with a solution for the issue with the legs, and then we're going to get that done. As a matter of fact, we have to get that done because we have to be complete by 6 p.m.
I cut it on that side.
Okay.
We're at the Mid-Atlantic Home and Outdoor Living Show in Virginia Beach. We have the Closet Factory booth here. We've got a Murphy bed, we've got an office space, we've got versatile cabinetry that can double as closets. We have a valet rod that pulls out. We can make a cabinet that stacks a whole bunch of clothes inside if you don't have a whole bunch of space. We also have lighting, touch button lighting. Just push a little button, lights it up. It's wonderful. We have a lot of time with customers that are really interested in what we have. They can see what products we offer.
I came to the home show to see Dr. Lori. I was walking around waiting for her to start, and I saw the Murphy bed. We are moving to a retirement community in downtown Norfolk and have a den that I'm hoping that I can double for a guest bedroom.
Allison is here with me. She's super awesome. We're having a really good time together. We're laughing, cutting it up, talking to all the people. It's a good time.
Yeah, it's great. We have a great crowd here today. Lots of people are signing up for our free consultations. So yeah, it's a fun time. Here, clients actually come to us. They're already interested in a space instead of us having to kind of seek them out. I do feel like people who come to this show want home improvements. That's why they're here. They're not just walking around. I mean, they are usually looking for something specific for their home. So to be able to see something like this instead of us just coming blindly to your house and you've never seen our work, I think it's impressive, and it's nice for people to be able to see things like this.
So I came here today to look at the Closet Factory and just to get some different ideas, because my house was built in 1993 and somehow that was 26 years ago. and it's time for some updating. The closets in my house right now are looking like in my master closet. The main closet has got these white wire metal shelves that are very unsightly, and I'd like to kind of improve the look of my closet and the way I can organize my shoes and clothes. I think they can give me some good ideas is what I'm hoping for the most, because there's so many new things out there today, the way to organize closets and all kinds of other home spaces that I came really looking for some ideas from some experts.
We're here in Williamsburg today at the Spalthoffs. This has been a job I've been working on for the last 6 months. We're now down to the end. Everything's been installed and they've just moved in 2 weeks ago. I'm excited to see everything that's been done for their design. Come on in. Hi, Helen, how are you? It's good to see you. I'm so excited to see how everything has turned out. Wow, this really turned out nice.
This gave me all the space I need for all my books and all my volumes of stuff and software and cables, and projectors and suitcase bags.
Wow, and doing these L shelves really maximized the space that we had in here versus leaving that dead space.
It's continuous space. It really helps.
This is what I really love, George, because it gave you the space to put your components for all of the wiring that's going to be closely accessed there for the cable, so there's not a lot of extra wires. The other thing I like is the fact that we did make sure that we accommodated so that if you did want to put rods back in here at any time, should this be converted back into a bedroom closet, you'd have that capability. But for now, it's going to suit the purposes now for what you need. Plenty of height. There's still some space above the crown molding. You know, perfect color to keep it light and open in here. I think this turned out really well.
This works. This worked for me because all this stuff was stored in various other places around the other house, and now it's all in one place.
So George, I know this was one of the areas, so how about let's go take a look at the master closet?
Sounds good.
Sounds good. Let's move it.
Wow, this looks absolutely gorgeous.
It is.
We got more space than we ever imagined we could have in here.
You know, I really wanted to make sure, because we were working with those 2 closets and some things in the 3rd closet, and I really wanted to make sure that we were going to be able to get everything accommodated, but I still wanted you both to have your space, the kind of his side, her side kind of thing.
Well, that worked really well.
That works,
so
yeah.
this looks great. It looks like that behind here we have the mirror that gives you the full view mirror that you can step back from. And Helen, I guess these are all of your shoes and pocketbooks.
I can
and
see them
things.
now, yes.
And then the hanging along here and the valley rods. These are one of my
These
favorites.
are great, yeah.
These are so nice.
We have a version of that for ties, and we have a version of that for belts.
Oh, over here, yeah.
I have one too, so that
So you don't have to share.
we don't have to share.
And then your drawer space, Helen,
Yeah.
do you find that this accommodates everything that you need?
Oh, yes,
And
jewelry, yes, absolutely.
one of my favorite things to do in my designs is to allow one section somewhere to have some closed doors, because there's always those items that you want to keep closed off that you don't necessarily want visible, or if you decide to be a little messy, you can hide it a little bit. So I like the way it turned out with having the doors above the drawers and
utilizing the space under the window for a bench area just is great. You know, it gives you a spot to put on your shoes, take off your shoes, etc. It's really
absolutely
convenient.
And then that always gives you a big storage area underneath, a larger you know, drawer space or cabinet space that could be for some additional storage too. And then again, you know, with the versatility of being able to move the rods up and down and the shelves up and down, if things change with the way you like to present your clothes, you have that availability. So it looks like there's still a lot of empty shelves. I think maybe you need a pass to go out shopping.
I'm going shopping for sure.
We don't need to do that. We have
Oh.
more space than we had before, and it's evident by the empty spaces, but we'll fill them. I assure you we will fill them.
We will shop.
Little by little.
Yeah.
We will.
Well, this is exciting,
It
but
is,
my
yes.
favorite part that I've been anticipating is to see the pantry.
Aha!
So,
Well, let's go
how
to the
about let's
pantry.
show me
Let's
that.
do the pantry. This is the most important room in the house.
Oh my goodness, Helen,
Is-
I am
isn't this-
so jealous.
And we have my important mixers. Many batches of icing and cookies have come forth from this, and those are always used. In addition, the 2 bowls, people say, why do you need 2 bowls? You wouldn't believe it, but I do. And then over here, we have a lot of dry storage. This is the best part, that I can see and access all of my pans. Some of them aren't in the attic.
Oh, great. Yeah, I wanted to make sure that we gave you a lot of versatility there because
Yeah.
you had the cooling racks, the pans, those kinds of things.
Yeah, it was a mess. It
So
was a bad mess.
That looks very visible and very user-friendly.
It is, it really is. And I have had several 4 cakes go out already in 2 weeks, so we're good. Again, over here, all storage, all, stuff for the cakes and what have you. Over here, we're moving along to my linen area where you have your tablecloths stored in such a wonderful fashion. They're not getting wrinkled, they're not all crushed.
It's nice that they pull out. So
Oh,
you can access
yes,
them
I
too.
didn't do that. Yes,
That's great.
yeah, and I have room for more, which are still in storage. I will get out
And then
eventually.
there's drawers for tablecloths and napkin rings and things. So.
Well, mostly those particular things have my cake supplies, I must confess.
Oh, great.
So, and of course, small appliances over here. And then the best of all, almost the best, everything's the best, is this storage area where I can put all my canned goods, just pretty much one at a time, one level deep there. And up there's, oh no, there is some. George, can you open that top one? I think I put some, yeah, I did. I put a few little things up there.
Well, Helen, this was the piece of everything that we did in here that I wanted to really make sure that we got in here for you because I knew how important that was in your previous home.
Right.
And trying to make sure that we were able to put that in. So for me, that was a nice surprise when I was able to let you know that we were able to work that in.
Yep.
I really think that the color goes well, matches your kitchen cabinetry, it lightens things up in here. The countertop under here is reinforced to support the weight. You don't have to pull that mixer out now on a little wheelie table anymore. Lots of drawers to sort and separate. So I think that this, all in all, came out extremely well.
Well, Susan, I want to thank you. It's been a great experience. We got more than we could have ever hoped for, and it was easy. And I thank you and your company for all that.
Thank you, George. My goal is always to exceed my customers' expectations.
Well, you did it.
You did it.
Thank you. The fact that your daughter referred me to you, it's been a pleasure working with you. I hope you'll spread the word around to all the neighbors in the neighborhood.
Absolutely.
A whole lot of neighbors are going to be seeing this. So.
Yes.
Perfect. I would love to come out and have more trips down to Williamsburg.
Oh, great. Okay.
We'd love to see you here more.
We have an extra bedroom too.
Oh, perfect. I'm going to go get my things right now.
Okay.
That's it for another great episode of Operation Reorganization.
We hope you enjoyed it.
Tune in next time.